Welcome back. Well, this is part 4 of the fire brick construction, the fire brick oven construction. Today is big. I'm gonna start actually laying bricks. I'm gonna be laying the refractory tiles that go on the floor of the oven, and it's kind of a long preparation. You got to make sure you have everything kind of ready, because I'm going to be working with refractory air set mortar, and the air set mortar sets up just as it says, when it's exposed to air. As soon as you add water to it, you've got about 20 minutes of work time. So you got to mix up small batches. But what I've done is I've prepared ahead of time some dry mix. It's 2 parts of the air set mortar, 2 parts of wash sand, 1 part lime, and 1 part Portland cement. And I can mix that up as a dry mix and keep it dry, keep it out of the rain or anything like that, because you don't want any water to get into it. And I can measure out just what I need, and I'll put it into this frosting bucket right here. It's a small bucket, so I can work with small amounts at a time. Probably just 1 or 2 tiles at a time until I get going, until I really get the process down. Now these are heavy tiles, so you know, the reach and everything as it starts moving toward the back, I'm going to have to climb around, and it's going to be a little bit arduous, but I should have no trouble whatsoever. Right now they're sitting in the water. It's very important with refractory bricks that they be soaked ahead of time, because they're very, very, very thirsty for water. And if they're not soaked ahead of time, as soon as mortar hits them, they're going to just sap all the water out of the mortar, and the mortar's just not even going to stick. It's just going to fall right off. So they've got to be soaked at least 10 or 15 minutes ahead of time, and then just gently wipe off the bricks with a towel, and so they're not over wet. And just from that point on, we're going to be putting on about, they call it 10 millimeters, so it's about around 3/8 of an inch of mortar, which is typical for laying down, you know, concrete blocks and things like that. So, and also too, because they're such a big dimension, they've got to have some squishability so that they can rock into place. And the way you deal with that is to mark some grooves about every 3 inches or so. Mark some grooves about the width of a finger or a trowel across those bricks, so that they can set down. You can't use the type of trowel that they use for putting down floor tiles, because where they have the notch trowel, because it's just not enough mortar. So it's a rather informal process. And also, now that I've been talking about this, I've got to make sure I have on hand my dead blow hammer. A dead blow hammer is essential. I've seen some videos where people are using rubber mallets. Rubber mallets are okay, but that's not what you really want. Rubber mallets really don't apply any impact, and they just bounce around without doing too much. You get a lot of work with very little done. So with a dead blow hammer, basically it's a hammer a soft-faced hammer filled with lead shot, and it creates the type of inertia that's necessary to drive force very, very gently onto any surface, particularly bricks. So let me get that, and I'm going to start mixing up some mortar, and we'll get going. Now, as you can see, I've got a center line straight up through the middle of that oven base, and I put a piece of tape here just so I could readily see the line that I drew. Also, the squares off the front of it, and this is the all-important beginning tile. Everything is built upon this particular tile, and getting this squared is essential to being situated for the entire oven. So we'll be very, very careful once we get that mortar to line that center line up, and line the point of that top of that triangle up with the blue center line. Once we have that in place, everything else should follow. Now I've just got 4 cups of dry mixture in here. This contains all those 4 ingredients: the air set mortar by 2 parts, 2 parts of washed fine mortar sand, and 1 part Portland cement and 1 part lime. Now you mix this to a sticky consistency. It should be totally mixed, so that all dry ingredients are mixed in, but it should stick to the trowel just like that. Tiny bit more water. Very, very easy with the water. Kind of reminds me of when my grandmother made cake frosting. She always said, be very careful. She says you end up with frosting soup if you're not careful. Now I've got 20 minutes of working time with this, so in fact I'm going to take note of that time and see just how much working time I have. And it's a hot, humid day today. And make myself some here we go. Get my lines aligned, and this is my dead blow hammer that I was referring to. Now I don't want to get that too, see, this hammer will not endanger the block and chip them. That looks like a good beginning. And they got to be flush as you can possibly make them. Think about as flush as a thickness of paper, and all the corners have to be squared away and flush also. We'll get these starters. These starters are all important. Looks good. I like to flip over my level just to make sure I'm getting the same reading on both sides. Sometimes you don't. This is an old level and it's been subjected to a lot of work over the years. Looks good. That's heavy. Keep my corners lined up here. You don't want any ragged edges because your peel is going to stick to that. And your pizzas are going to also, your pizza dough is going to fall into those cracks. So you want to have everything nice and flush. Make sure you have no daylight underneath your level. Looks awesome. Carefully as I can get it. Everything relies on this starter set. So you want to be very, very careful. Otherwise you'll be running way out of whack toward the end. Now I want to question, if something is out of whack, does that mean that it can be in whack? Looks everything's square to me. I think it's time to call it a day and relax with a nice bourbon in my pipe. And I'm very satisfied with this progress that I made today. 11 tiles are down, and I'm past the halfway point. This is the hardest part of all, was getting the initial ones down to get it level and make sure that everything was started correctly. Now the rest of them will just set in place according to this. According to these, and they're very, very flush. Each of these tiles, there isn't so much as you can't find a sliver of paper difference between the height of those tiles, and that's exactly what I want. That's most important, so the peel doesn't catch. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and God bless. Murphy, what are you doing? You're a goofy boy.